Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Ellie and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Ellie's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the motivation and the correction that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred's using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the little correction, which is a little tug and let go on her training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. She has been fitted with her very own training collar that she's going to go home with, and you'll be taught how to use that properly when you come for your lesson. Now Ellie's sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training originates. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is nothing more than proper walking on a leash, and the command is Ellie heel. This is an exercise where you have control of your dog when you're walking down the street, and any time that you stop walking, either to interact with someone on the street or to cross traffic, she sits automatically without being told to wait for her next command. And you can see that her tail's wagging. She's happy doing her work. She enjoys it. And the next exercise that Fred's going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command. It's a one-word command. The one-word command to stay. The long sit stay when you're practicing at home can be practiced right in your living room. This helps to develop her attention span and maturity. When Fred returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her as an additional distraction, returning all the way back to her shoulders, and at this point, she gets praised for a good job, and he starts heeling again with her. Each time that you return to your dog's shoulders, she expects to get another command. Nice automatic sits for you so that when you're walking with her, she's well controlled. Fred leaves her in a stay. Again, walks out to the end of his training leash, and these exercises are for indoors as well as outdoors. This time, instead of returning back to her, he's going to call her, and this is the recall or the come on command. The command is Ellie come, and she comes and sits very nicely like a lady in front instead of jumping all over you, and then she returns back to heel position, and Fred leaves her in another sit stay. Now she wasn't paying attention, so she got up. The first words that you heard Fred say were no, and then he repeated the command, no, stay. And he'll demonstrate that recall exercise again for us. She comes in, she sits, she does her commands very, very well, and you notice there's a very relaxed tone. Nothing harsh, nothing too happy. You don't want to get her over the top and then have to reel her back in. And she does it with a very good attitude. Now we're going to set up to demonstrate our down commands, and there are two of them. The first one is a down from heel position. So with the dog at your left where you started, Fred's going to use his open left palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down. This is the long down stay from a heel position. This exercise you're going to practice from 3 minutes working up to 5 minutes, and you can do it while you're watching TV. Your commands should be incorporated into your everyday living situations. When Fred returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her as he did on the sit stay. She should remain lying down until she gets another command or gets praised. And we're going to demonstrate that down from a heel one more time. I think the heel and the down commands are your two most important exercises, because you have a dog that walks nicely on a leash, goes down on command when she's told. And as you get more familiar with your commands and you want to mix them up, this time Fred will call her out of that down. She comes right in and sits like a lady. Beautiful job. And goes back to heel. Great. Now we're going to set up for your down from a distance. This is a little bit harder exercise because the dog isn't next to you. Always have your dog sitting before you attempt to put her into a down. Fred leaves her in a sit stay. He walks out to the end of his training leash. This is the only time that you will see him use his right hand to give the command. And he puts her into a down. Very nicely done. Now we have demonstrated for you your heeling, your automatic sits, your stays, your down from a distance, and your come. These are basic obedience exercises that you're going to be practicing with her. We will give you time to practice with your trainer as your coach. We'll also answer any other questions that you have about her behavioral issues at home. She's come a long way, and we're very proud of her. Thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.